What's up, guys? Back at it again with some more power rankings. And we are up to team number 10, and that's the San Francisco Fear Boners. And the theme song that I picked for him for this year is Long Way Down by the Goo Goo Dolls. One of my favorite songs of all time. Didn't make my top 7 a week ago or so, but I probably should have. I need to bump something, I think. So Long Way Down, Goo Goo Dolls. And the reason why I chose this song for him, I'm going to take you back to week 9 last year, or week 10, I guess. I think he had a 3-game lead, 3 games to go or something like that, like a 95% chance of making the playoffs, and we've revisited it many times. Mike was basically out of the playoffs, got in, got lucky every step of the way, but he has the belt. We actually saw it on Sunday. So Ferguson was sitting pretty good last year. His first division title, and I mean, nothing necessarily that he did as far as who he started, but he lost it, and in the process, he drops down the power rankings. I don't remember offhand if he lost anyone of significance last year, but it's not shaping up to be too spectacular. Maybe you're surprised to see him here instead of some of the teams from the north, perhaps. But my rankings have him finishing on average with a worse record than them because he doesn't get to play 4 games against DDP in St. Louis or against Seattle and St. Louis, or he's got to go. He only gets to play those. Well, I guess he still gets 3 games against that competition, but he's got to go up against Mike twice, and he's got to go up against Justin twice, which prior to Sunday I wouldn't have said was a big deal, but you might be surprised where he ends up. Anyway, I've got him at number 10. Let's take a look at his starting lineup we see over here. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Right now I do have Eli penciled in there. I anticipate Tom Brady moving into that spot once he comes back, but Eli's projected more points than him. That's how I determined who I put in the starting lineup, who had the most projected points. And then Dak Prescott. This could work out really nice. He's in Dallas. Dallas always has a good line. He's got Ezekiel Elliott there. He's looked fantastic in preseason, but it was a stretch where he took him in the rookie draft. If that's the guy that he wanted, he's got him locked up for 5 years. If he ends up being the starter, maybe there's egg on my face in a couple years. But yeah, he's got 2 really good quarterbacks for this year. Eli, underrated, I think, and Tom Brady when he gets back. Looking at the wide receivers, he's got a solid set of wide receivers here. Edelman, PPR machine. Sterling Shepard could be the best wide receiver in this draft. I said it was Treadwell in my video, but I don't hate the pick of Sterling Shepard at number 2 for him. I'm pretty sure I have Shepard in every single one of my other leagues. I'm going to go back on what I said a little bit earlier. I think Treadwell is the best wide receiver for the length of the contract. I think Shepard is actually the best wide receiver for this year. So if he's looking to make a playoff run, that is who he should have taken. Allen Hurns in that Jacksonville offense. Last year, Jacksonville played from behind quite a bit. If you look at Bortles' numbers when they were behind versus when they were ahead, like 90% of his touchdowns or something came when they were behind. A lot of garbage time stuff. If that continues, Hurns should be really, really good. If Jacksonville is more competitive, I know that they beefed up their defense. Maybe his numbers and Bortles and Allen Robinson's numbers come back down to earth a little bit. Down in his flex, he's got Emmanuel Sanders. Great talent. He put up pretty big numbers last year when Peyton Manning was throwing to him, and Peyton was terrible last year, so Peyton and Brock. He's got Trevor Siemian throwing him the ball now. Think it's going to be a little bit of a step back for Sanders this year. Looking at his bench, Chris Conley, Anquan Bolden signed in Detroit, is going to be their wide receiver 3 playing in the slot. I don't see Detroit using a whole lot of 2 running back or 2 tight end sets. Anquan could be a nice play. It's got to get in, get acclimated with Stafford, but you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout these previews. Calvin's gone. Who's going to pick up the slack? It could be Anquan Bolden, veteran presence. Didn't have a terrible last year when Blaine Gabbert was throwing him the ball. I think he could fit in really, really nicely with Detroit. I just don't have him in the starting lineup because Yahoo didn't have him there. Andre Johnson, Mike Wallace, and Quentin Patton. So he's looking at 5 deep in his wide receiving core, and really that's all that you need. Not much else behind them, though. If we go over to running backs, he made a power move a little bit to steal his division rival's handcuff in D'Angelo Williams. Or no, he doesn't have... No, just kidding. Le'Veon got traded. So, but he's got D'Angelo as the starting running back for his first 3 weeks, so he plays his 2 division rivals. D'Angelo is awesome when he's in that Pittsburgh offense. So, but he's not even on the starter. So, C.J. Anderson, awesome 2 years ago, major disappointment last year. It looks like Hillman might get cut. Broncos did draft Devontae Booker, but C.J. is going to be the guy that gets the ball at least to start the season. So, borderline top 15 running back maybe. Jonathan Stewart, model of consistency. He's been in Carolina for a few years now, well, quite a few years. The past few, he has been the man that's been there. Nothing spectacular, but for $4, for a good, solid RB2, nothing to shake your stick at there. If we look further down, D'Angelo is in the starting lineup right there. He took a big hit with the loss of Dion Lewis for the vast majority of the season, especially when you factor in that his division rival Oakland had James White, who proves to be Dion's replacement. Dion is awesome when he's in there. Whoever the third running back is in New England is going to catch some passes. It's not going to be Dion for a while, though. So his first go through his division, he'll have D'Angelo. Maybe for his second go through the division, he'll have Dion. Tyler Gaffney, I think he's in San Francisco. Maybe he gets some run. Jonathan Grimes, Dexter McCluster. Oh, and Bilal Powell. Looks like he's going to be the third down running back in the Jets. And third down running backs score fantasy points. I had Bilal last year. I think I still have stock in him this year. Third down running backs, they catch passes. This is a PPR league. He put up solid numbers for me towards the end of the year last year. Maybe after Le'Veon comes back, he can shift Bilal into his starting lineup. Looking at the tight end, holy cow. He only has 1 tight end. It is only Julius Thomas. And everything that I said about Hearns holds true here. Maybe Jacksonville does take a step back, but maybe with Bortles they take a step forward. Julius is not great. Maybe look for Jason to pick up another tight end somewhere, somehow. Not for me, though. I don't have any extra. If we look at his wins futures, looks very, very similar to mine. Maybe a little bit higher. Well, obviously it's a tiny bit higher because he's ranked ahead of Tampa Bay. But, yeah, still skews towards the low end. If we look at his money lines down there, we see all the numbers go down a little bit, except for last place. He's got equal probabilities of finishing last and making the money. So, Hurricanes Fearless Forecast, I'm just going right off the top of my head. When this is all said and done, they probably won't add up to even, but we'll give them 5 wins. I'm going to say 5 and 8 for the San Francisco Fear Boners this year. Yeah, I think I kept this one a little bit shorter for you guys, so stop Stop Your Whining, Mike and Chris. And maybe I'll do team number 9 yet tonight. I got class here in just a few minutes, so it will not be before then. So that is all. I will talk to you guys soon.